And finally, here we are, dive number 6 of the weekend. As I mentioned, this was just a fun dive. At this point, I was already wrapped up with the certification. I was actually not particularly planning on doing this dive, but there were some people from the dive shop going on it, and I thought, when in Rome, I'm here. Let's do it. So I jumped in with them, and we immediately went down to some depth where it was absolutely freezing. I mentioned in a previous video that I had some wetsuit trouble. The zipper of my wetsuit broke off, and I tried to get a replacement online, or a fixer, just a new piece that connects the zipper threads together, and it worked. It did connect, and I could zip the wetsuit up and down, but I quickly learned when I got to the quarry that it just can't handle the stresses of putting a wetsuit on, taking it off, because that's kind of a battle. It's not easy to deal with those things. And it failed pretty miserably when I actually got into it. So I decided to rent a wetsuit. That was really my only option. And it was supposed to be 7mm, but it felt kind of flimsier, and I don't know. Maybe we were just in some really cold water, but that wetsuit wasn't doing it. I almost quit the dive right when we jumped in. You can see from the graph here, the coldest temperature my computer recorded was 59. That has to be inaccurate. It was colder than that. Anyway, let's jump right into it. Here we go, starting out in the water this time. So I was diving with a big group. Let's see if I can remember. There was 5 of us all together, I believe. We ended up splitting up, but in the beginning we were together. I do not know what that side rig that guy has. I think that's his name is Ken. That's who was doing the fire. Yeah, he's a fireman, so I semi-trust him with gasoline around the fire, but not sure what he's doing there. They split off. He and his wife split off later when we got to the airplane, I think, to go play with that side rig. I'm not sure what he's using that for, but I think at this point we were just waiting on everyone to get in the water. This is a platform you've probably seen many times now if you've watched my videos. Usually there's a little more fish hanging out on it. I don't remember why I was pointing. They do love their 80s on 8 at Mermet. Just gonna get all my videos copyright stricken. I imagine the fish don't take too kindly to the constant noise also, but it is what it is. Alright, I think we're about to get going here. And here we go down into the depths, into the refrigerator. It was really cold. I was freezing at this point. Or we might have just come from somewhere that was even colder than this. I think we're about to come up on the train car, and I actually remember kind of warming up when we got to the train car, and that's usually the opposite. Usually I'm getting pretty cold at the train car. It's all very relative. Yeah, that's the train car, I believe, which is attached to the airplane nose. The airplane nose is traditionally very cold, but like I said, it felt warmer there than wherever we came from. You could see a little bit the camera that That's Val on the right there with the blue fins. She has a really sweet underwater camera rig. I hope I've got some better footage of it. It's a real legit digital camera that is put in a waterproof box with some telescopic flashes. You'll probably see that coming up here in a little bit, I hope. On the way to the 727. This was another group. We just jumped in the water, started going down, didn't follow any ropes. Maybe somebody was looking at a compass, I don't know. And to the 727. Very convenient. How convenient. There's ropes like that with name cards everywhere. It is, in fact, very convenient. And here we are at the nose cockpit of the 727. That's a SpongeBob SquarePants figure. Somewhere. This is the thermometer hanging off the nose. I believe that's 57, and my buddy here is like, boom, right on the money, 57 degrees. His computer. I looked at mine, can't quite see it there, but I think it said 59. So mine was reading a couple degrees warmer. Perhaps it just hadn't adjusted yet. His big fancy color screen looked nice. But I'm pretty pleased with my computer. I don't really, there's a couple things I would change about it, but it's, all in all, it's been good. I believe that Val was, yeah, she's over there with her camera rig. She was snapping some pictures. Yeah, you see that flash? Yeah, look at that. Look at that setup. That is not cheap. I can promise you that. I was thinking that maybe my light was screwing up her pictures, so I turned it off and backed up a little bit and let her do whatever she wanted to do here. Yeah, that's a little better than a GoPro. Well, she's taking still pictures there, obviously. Yeah, I'm not sure what she's taking pictures of, but just touring the plane again for the second time that day. This is pretty close to where we split up. That might be in the next segment. And just taking a little look-see into the belly of the plane. There's the cubbies. The cubbies have made several of my videos. Don't really see any fish hanging out in there. Lots of space. You can really spread out when you're swimming through there. But this was not one of those trips. Everything on the outside. And here we are. At this point we had split up. I thought I had that on video, but apparently not. So we've left the plane and gone to whatever this is. Some kind of truck. Now taking a peek into the passenger's side. I think that dashboard has seen better days. Got a few loose cables in there. Might want to cover those up. There's the placard to the 727. From whence we came. Also turns out the whole engine block is missing from this truck. I think it probably used to be somewhere around where Buddy is swimming into. Look at that guy with no gloves. Jeez, I don't know how he survived it. I was freezing earlier. At this point it wasn't too cold, but... And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do that too. Little tight quarters swim through. Just gotta be cognizant of your tank. You don't want to bang that in your regulator. I made it through here okay. I think I kicked a few things. I don't think I banged my tank though. Yeah, it's nice and easy. Nice and easy does it. Right through there, turn around and look at your conquest. Yeah. Lloyd? Is Lloyd there? Lloyd teams? What does that say? Who knows? People write some weird stuff sometimes. Oh, that's the bicycle. So this is back in the area where I did the jackstay search pattern. That's the bicycle where I hung the big reel off of. I was looking for one of my weights the day before. Finally made it to some warmer waters for sure. The speedboat is not particularly deep. Didn't see anything all that exciting here. Just one of the many points of interest you'll find at Mermet Springs. Don't even see any fish hanging out by it. Just that 80s on 8. Serenading us. Yep. Got some junk in the back there. Made it back to the school bus. And, probably came from the petting zoo. Decided to do a swim through, following somebody else in the group. Shark hanging out on the stairs. Watch out. He'll get you. Shark attack from the stairs. Yeah. The interior of this bus needs a little work also. Yeah, I mentioned in a previous video about my weight change, where I put the heavier weights in my trim pockets, and I think that really helped my swim through on this bus. I think it helped keep my kicks kind of horizontal, keep my fins up. So I think this swim through went a lot better than the one I did for the rec certification. I don't think I banged anything here. I remember thinking the air at the air on the roof looked cool. I thought I looked at that here. Maybe not. Maybe that was during the rec cert. But out the back, to the bathtub full of bowling balls. Those are fun to throw around if you get bored. Here's the bucket, or one of them at least. Nothing super exciting happening here, but I took the video, so might as well throw it up there. This is kind of in between the school bus and the platforms. We're kind of making our way through the shallow part of the quarry, the popular part of the quarry. There's a lot of points of interest lined up here. So here we kind of went past the train platforms to an area of the quarry where there's not really many points of interest. There's a few that are very deep, so this is kind of the northwest part of it, if I'm thinking of my directions correctly. And this is the deep part, so there's a platform, there's 85-foot platform, 100-some foot platform. I think it bottoms out around 112 feet, I believe, 115 feet. I've never been that deep. Here, I've heard it's extremely cold. But we were just kind of cruising up and down the wall here. I think we saw albino catfish a little later. Just kind of putzing around here. I was told at one point those orange fins, you could only instructors could get those in that color. Now, the point being that students would be able to identify you. Oh, I always love getting caught in the bubble stream. But I think they've since relaxed that restriction. Just doing a quick air check here. Looks like I've got 1,300 left. I'm not sure what they finished at. Way more than me, no doubt. These are pros. This is just fantastic. I did it again. So we're all sitting around looking at an albino catfish, and you're just going to have to take my word on that because my camera is pointed too far down and it's above the frame. It's the same treatment that I gave the spoonbill from the day before. It's very irritating. Again, you catch a small glimpse of it here. That's about the only reason why I'm even including this segment. But, just have to do better next time. You know, I tilted my camera down more than usual on purpose for this weekend because, you know, I was going to be tying knots and fiddling with my hands, and I wanted all that. There's the catfish tail. But, yeah, I guess I just kind of lost sight of where the normal position is and kept it pointed too far down for the fun dives. Very, very unfortunate. Might as well make it 3 times. So here it turns out we're just looking at a regular catfish. I finally did get this one in frame. This might even be the Big Daddy Fat Sacks catfish. Can't quite tell. He's on his way if it's not. This looks like a pretty big one, but ultimately not some fabulous footage of it. Here we go. It's finally coming into frame a bit. Lean my head back just to make sure I got it. Got some other fishy here that didn't quite make it into the frame. Hey, buddy! Yeah, we're getting towards the end of the dive here. This is my second to last video segment, so there's the bubble stream. We're about to see 4 perfect bubbles come up out of this guy. Hold on, look at this. Yeah, there they go. Look at that. Look like jellyfish. Those were not distorted at all. They looked, that was really cool. Normally they're kind of flapping around, but those were perfect. This is it. Last segment of the last dive of the weekend. Finally made it. Just kind of hanging out on the training platform here. Looks like some fish decided to join us. They're just floating around, being little fish. Not sure what we were doing here. You can see some air venting out of his dry suit there. So the dry suits have a valve on the left shoulder there that, yeah, they kind of regulate pressure themselves. So when things get too pressurized inside, then air will vent. Alright, he just said go up. So I'm doing something here. I carry my snorkel. I started doing this probably about a year ago. I carry my snorkel on my left leg using these hair ties, hair bands that I got at a Nike store. You can see it there. You know, the only time you need your snorkel is when you're on the surface. Any other time, it's just flapping around in front of your face underwater. And it's just annoying and in the way. You're supposed to carry one with you. I got a roll-up snorkel to try that out, and I hated it. It just didn't. I didn't like it. You couldn't position it well. It was flimsy. Forget about trying to attach it to the side of your mask. So I just started carrying my real snorkel with me, but with the connector I had on it. The previous connector. This is actually a new one. If you got to look at that. With the previous one, it was the same way. It was, especially with gloves on, it was next to impossible to actually get it connected to the side of my mask. So I carry it with me with no intention of actually using it. But I got this new quick connector for the snorkel, and you can kind of see it there if you saw that. It's kind of a circle, and it just fits right into the side piece, and you push a button and it locks in. And again, with gloves, with no dexterity, it's still hard to feel around and get it right, but it's, you know, magnitude of order easier to use than the old connector. Every time I go down now, I try to practice connecting it on the way up, even though in this quarry you'd never really need a snorkel. But that's it for search and recovery. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Apologize for the missed fish and the blips and bips in the recording. I'm not sure when I'll get back into the water. Winter's coming, so it's probably, you know, getting into the off season here. And hopefully I'll get back out there and see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.